There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Except it's totally not, it's not letting me sign into my chat. What is this life? What is this life we've got right now? That's what I want to know. What is this life, folks? But hey, at least we got chat now. At least we got chat. We're back up and operational. What is going on, everybody? Hopefully having an amazing day, an amazing weekend. I'm just getting everything set up. I'm going to try to get my chat up and moving here. I can see my chat. Let's move this over here. We're going to click next. Oh, no. All right. I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. We're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, folks. It's fine. Totally fine. I don't know why it would make me do that. Try another way. Yeah, I do have my cell phone. I do have my cell phone, folks. Yes, it's me. Then we're going to do this little method over here. Continue. Yes. I did all that and it still didn't let me connect. What is this life? Okay, there we go. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully having an amazing weekend. We're back up and moving. I just want to apologize. Listen, so we're going to be looking at some video that we took at the Wildwood Sanitarium. We took it probably, I don't know, May. I think it was May 12th. And one of the things that we found when we started doing some of this paranormal research is that there's not a whole lot of quote unquote, that's the word I'm looking for here. There's not a lot of equipment that actually works in this space good enough, if that makes sense. So we started creating our own, one of which being software. Is currently in like a testing phase right now. But let me show you what we're working with here. And I might actually switch this window that I'm at here. Let me see. Where's a good safe place I can put myself? Put myself up there, I think. That might work. And then let me shrink this window down a little bit so everyone can see every part of it here. Because if we're going to be watching some videos, everyone needs to see everything. Let's go like this, go like this, boop. There we go. Can I tab this down? Oh, yeah, look at that. Like a pro, folks. Like a pro. So anyway, this is the current software that we're using. And for us, it works pretty good. This, for anyone that doesn't know, one of the most tedious things that a investigator can ever go through is literally the footage after the fact. So this is from the 12th and technically the 13th. We were there for technically 2 days and just a little bit short of 2 days. But anyway, we're sitting on, and it'll show it right here, 32 hours of footage, which is a lot. We don't want to watch 32 hours of footage. So that's why we got this software. And right now, in that 132 hours that we've got, it's only scanned 14% of the video so far. All the videos, anyway. Basically, you drop and drag all of the footage in, and once you drop all the footage in, you get a Basically, it looks for anything that could be paranormal. What's going on, Kyle? But it's about 14%. I threw in a camera that we have not reviewed at all. Again, this is from the Wildwood Sanitarium. Look good, brother. Man, I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best out here, and it's tough. It's tough to look good. But anyway, right now, yeah, so we're sitting at 5% that's currently analyzed. So far, it's found 132 windows. So now when we go over to review, it should be finding all the good stuff that happened. So the footage that we have here, I'm going to go to all. So the way this software works is it looks for anything that is abnormal, audio that's abnormal, and it breaks it down in a way that you can truly review whatever it is. You rocking it, man. We're trying, man. And it breaks it into two different categories: review, human, and camera. So what that means is it believes that there's a human that's either in the audio, or there's a human that's in the video, or there's some type of human influence is the best way to put it. So I'm just going to do all because all is kind of where it's at. So I'm going to go up to 1, and then it's going to be broke down based on different things. So like if you look to the side here, it's going to show this one's an audio file. This one's going to be audio and video. This one is audio, video, and it believes there's a human in there. So it kind of gives a little bit of a combination of everything. What's going on, Joe? So it kind of breaks everything down in a way that instead of watching, like I said over here, 32 hours of footage, and you got to remember, most investigation teams, much like what myself and Nick do, this is 32 cameras or 32 hours on one camera. We had 20 cameras. So, you know, you take 32 hours, you multiply it by 20, and that doesn't even include reviewing body cams, drone footage, doesn't include looking at cameras we're carrying. This is simply just one static camera. We had 20 static cameras this last time that we was at the Wildwood, but let's stop talking about, let's be about it. We're going to watch a little bit of footage. We're going to see what we can find. We might do this for like an hour. I was thinking about maybe doing this once weekly. It's been hard for me to put videos out on Retraced Echoes just because I'm busy. I'm busy doing this right now, trying to get this ready. My wife and I were at the Wildwood back in March with Lincoln Kim. It was absolutely amazing. Let me tell you, I love the Hinsdale house. I love it. But the Wildwood for me will always be the spot where I think I caught the most amazing footage that I've ever seen. And, you know, it's easy for anyone to say that, right? Well, everyone says they got the best footage. I think that shadow person that we captured was by far the best footage that I've personally seen. Slick Nick, that's right. But this, we don't know what we captured this time. I can tell you that I'm reviewing a completely different camera on my other computer, and it was up in the doctor's office, 3rd floor, and I caught what I think is pretty compelling. But, you know, I'm only 1/3 of the way through that camera. But I think what I'm going to do is once a week, since I'm not able to get in here and basically create footage for Retraced Echoes right now, maybe it's a case where once a week on the weekend, we sit down for maybe an hour or two and just watch whatever we find on these cameras. And this will be stuff that I'll be putting in the video that comes out in October. October 31st, we always release something cool for Halloween. And what we did last year was the footage of the Hinsdale house and the Wildwood Sanitarium. This year will just be, we were there for basically 2 days. Like I say, a little over 32 hours of just video footage. So this is what we're going to put out. But I wanted you guys to see kind of how we're doing it. And this is how we're doing it. So this is just one camera. This, for anyone that doesn't know, this is on the 2nd floor. There's a room that they've got a bunch of Ouija boards in. I'm scared of that room. So So you will never really see Bert in this room, with the exception to go downstairs or walking by. So if you see another me in here, it's a doppelganger. It's not even me. So let's see what we got. Let's look at some footage. I'm gonna crank up my mixer so I can hear the footage. You guys should also be able to hear it. I'm hoping and praying. Otherwise, this is gonna be tough. All right, so this is clearly an audio footage. The way that I created this software is, oh my goodness, that room, my wife, Trish and I got, oh man. You guys got rushed in there? That's crazy. I'd be good. So the way I created this software, this is obviously audio, and we can see the audio down here. This is the timeline. Now, what's cool about this is it found this section, and it basically cuts everything into reviewable sections so people can see it. And I can do some enhancements here. So that's the original audio. I can go to like an enhanced audio, and I can remove noise. There's also a little transcript thing that I'm not going to talk about just yet. And there's advanced audio labs. Now with the advanced audio labs, I can basically mess with whatever the frequency range is so I can hear things a little bit easier. So if I think it's like a voice or a moan or a groan or like an EVP, I can click on this and that kind of just fine tunes just that area of the spectrum. There's one for footsteps, knocks, and impacts. Now what's really cool is I can come down here to the original waveform and I can see exactly what it looks like, but most importantly, I've got a spectrum analyzer here at the bottom that I can look at and see exactly where that sound takes place. So I'm sure you guys heard that's more of like a footstep, and that's my assumption is it's probably when Nick and I was setting up. So when we were setting up, someone walked away. I think Nick set that camera up because I'm like, nope, Ouija board, I'm good. So, sure, what sounded like pots and pans, the best way to describe it, stopped and then heavy footsteps rushed. Oh, yeah, no, I'd be good. That actually happened to Jess when Jess and I was there year before last. Something came from that room into that where the crystal ball is, and it kind of freaked her out a little bit. But anyway, this sound is clearly what I believe is Nick. And it sounds like he's going down the stairway. So since I know what that is or likely is, I'm going to put likely artifact contamination. I'm just going to type in here, nothing of value. That's just my quick way of going through some of these that I know are not as big of a deal. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to decline using that footage, and we're going to move on. Yeah, see, we got some cool stuff. But yeah, it was scary, man. Well, my wife, if you watch the end of last year's investigation, when she said, I need someone down here now, that was literally what she was talking about, was that room. And it was freaky, real freaky. I was not a fan of that, obviously. When it's your wife and you're like, now this is clip 2. It automatically goes to the next clip, just FYI. So as I'm going through these, and these will go a lot quicker, once you're going through them, it kind of just drops to the next one. I don't do Ouija boards either. Heck no, man. I'm out on that. The cool thing about this is I can see there's audio here, but you can see right here this green, or I guess you could say like cyan color. That means there's some type of video abnormality that it found inside this video. So if I look at the waves here, all the noise that's happening is really kind of in that voice range. I'd be curious what's there. Let's see what's there. When the video pops up and it gets to this part, there will be a box somewhere on there to show me where I'm supposed to be looking. Now, it could be anything, but that gives me the goosebump. Heck yeah, it does. Let's see what we got. Okay. So that's clearly the walkie-talkie. Probably just setting up the cameras yet. Okay, so you saw right there on the video, it picked up what appears to be, to me, an orb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to next frame it just to kind of see. So it automatically is going to see it coming through from here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this thing now so we don't see that. And let's just take a little glance at this orb. Some people are orb people, some people are not. I used to not be, but now I've kind of, I look at them a little bit differently. I mean, definitely an orb. But you know what's weird about the orbs, though? Is just how some of them seem to be really transparent and some of them not so much. I don't know if I set up share clip on this. Maybe I did. I'm going to share this just so I've got it in the events that it is. Create. I don't. Okay, I got to set up from my other computer. Love seeing orbs. They are very fascinating. Yeah, some people are not a fan of them. I used to not be a huge fan. I think it is... It depends on the orb. That's how I look at it. But this one's clearly fast moving. Let's slow it down. I might keep this one just for review later. Because, I don't know. Sometimes I look at this kind of stuff and I think to myself, is it possible that... There it goes, man. Even slowed down. That thing was going. Oh, what was that noise at the end of that? I didn't... Did I stop before that last time? Okay, that's weird. There's a little noise after that. Have to send you any footage of orbs I've... That's the thing, man. The basement... Nick is actually reviewing one of those cams. I've got 2 more cams down there. My mom's reviewing one and Nick's reviewing the other. I'm just going to put orb in this one. I'll know what that means. So since we know what this is, I'm going to put unexplained just on this orb. I'm going to keep that and save and decision next. Then it'll go to the next clip. So that's kind of how this software works. I don't know, man. That sound was weird. So if you noticed in the last clip, it went from 20, 18, and 43 seconds. So 20, that'd be 8, 18. Nothing else happened until... I see. Okay. I see what happened. I was so confused there for a second because if you noticed, it changed, the camera changed, and it should have picked that up. It's because I was on review only versus all. All gives me everything, and like right now, it's only 15% of the ingestion, so there's still a lot going on. But anyway, when you go to all, it gives you everything, including the people interactions, and that's what I want to see. But this one, again, has audio and video, so let's see what we've got here. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, that was obviously Nick, which I did the investigation with. The only thing that was odd was something popped up right here. That happens sometimes with compression. So the way that these TVs work, or these video cameras made for like CCTV, is there'll be sections of a video which will compress. That's common. This software will also pick up compression, but my theory is I'd rather have something that shows me the compression than not show me the compression, so I can make my own determination of if I want to look at it or not. But with this one, it's all small pattern here. There's Nick. Nick's got some wild eyes going on there. Nick looks like a demon. Oh, that's funny. And then I saw something pop up over there too. So that's probably compression, just where he walked through there. That's not uncommon. That will happen. And that just sounds like him walking down the stairway. I just want to make sure that there's nothing else in the clip. Yeah, so that just sounds like us talking. So we kind of know what this one is. That one's just Nick. The first little audio thing was weird, but I think that was just probably where he was on that other side. So what I would say on this one is clearly just an investigator. Nothing of value. I'm going to dismiss that clip and we're going to move on to the next one. This one's audio. It says that there's obviously a human influence. You thought you heard growling on that one, Kyle? Did I miss something? So that right there is some form of audio interference. And that's our audio there. I'm pretty sure that's audio interference. I would almost, if anything, even if there is something that's like kind of on that fringe, I usually kick it because I'm like, I can't verify what it is. For me, it almost has to be exact. Now, one cool thing, once we get to a point like this, and I think everyone here will think it's pretty cool. If there is audio in this, let's say it's EVP, let's say whatever we think it might be, if there's something there, at the very bottom here, there is a transcript that is hidden, and it's hidden until you reveal it. So what the idea was is if I hear something that I think is words, or anyone that's watching the footage for me, they would type what they think in the reviewer notes, which automatically saves. And once they've got it, they would click reveal, and the computer tries to take the absolute best indicators of voice recognition to determine what's being said. Now, if it's a match, I count that a pretty good EVP. If it's not a match, I consider it questionable. And if it's just so far off, it's at that point a speculation. It's still cool, and I'd still leave it in a video, but it's not something that I would stake my career on in paranormal research, if that makes sense. So, but let's see what this one's got. So that's me talking. Can't make out what I'm saying. That's someone walking up the stairway. So that's just an investigator. Dismiss activity. There's nothing of value here. Save. We try to make it awesome, Kyle. We wanted to make this so much easier for teams because here's the thing, right? Like if you look at the first clip, well, once this one loads, this one's got a lot of people, a lot of video. So my guess is this is probably where I think Nick came and fixed this camera. What the idea was, so this camera started at 16:51:10. So that's when we started this camera rolling. So 24 to 20 would be 4. So this would be 8. So that'd be 8 hours before. That ain't right. Oh, you know what? It's because, yeah, so the cameras do a switch. So at 20, what's the first sign we got? So this is when the camera system calibrated. So roughly at 8:18 is where the cameras truly started. And if you look at where we're at now, so it went from 8 8:18 to 8:20. What the idea was to make it super simple for investigation teams when they leave to not have to watch that whole 32 hours of footage and to have some type of idea of what they're truly looking at. It's just to make things way easier. Love how everything is so in detail and pinpoint. We try. It's all about trying to make it as easy as possible for everyone. Because listen, this is a hard job for an investigation team. This is really, really hard. But my guess is this will probably be Nick. Let's see what we got. Nope. Looks like I set up a camera. Yeah, that's what it was. So I'm setting up a dome camera that's right here. That's going to go in a different part of the room, and I reset this camera. I thought it was Nick that did this, but maybe it was me. That must be a doppelganger, though, just for the record.
Ask her how this looks. Cam 8.
What?
Ask her how Cam 8 looks, please.
You said 8, right?
Yep.
It was 8 looking.
So to give you guys an idea, I talked about how this would do some of that translation. So if I didn't, let's say I thought this was some form of an EVP, I could technically click reveal right here. How it looks. So yeah, it's going to give the transcription right here of what it thought we said, which I think that's kind of a cool little thing to have. It's not going to be precise, especially when you've got a lot, but it's going to be pretty close. The other thing that you'll notice is on the video stuff. So when I come around that corner, it's going to see that lighting start changing, and you're going to start seeing those bubbles popping up. So what I tried to create was a way. Did I turn that off? Oh, yeah. So before I even come in frame, you can truly see where it starts picking up my light right here. So I'm technically off camera, and it basically shoots everything right from here, which I think is super cool. I'm going to definitely get the camera off you. Listen, I think there's going to be so much new stuff. Right now, as of today, I've got 4 working prototypes of different devices. A camera I'm working on. I can't show it just yet, but what I'm carrying here is going to be similar. And what it is it's basically going to be a dome camera, but there's going to be 2 cameras, one on the bottom and one on the top. I've not perfected all that yet. I'm still kind of piecing that together. But it'll be fully IR. It'll be completely battery operated. You can also plug it into power. My goal is, and I think the top and bottom resolutions both 2K. So you could basically set 2 different cameras in 2 different directions. That's going to be kind of the cool thing about that whole thing. Just to make it easier, people have options. People can basically do whatever they need to do in investigations, and they'll be able to take the footage in high def, put into software like this, and this software would be able to find it all. Now, the software is going to be on Nick's side. This is just an alpha version. He's going to have a beta. As you can see, we're just on version 20, technically version 1, but the 23rd build of this software currently. And by the time he starts getting his kind of on market, we're going to be version 2, version 3, version 5, like who knows. And it just will get progressively better as we learn things and we adapt things. That's where it all come in. So this one, we know what this one is. Nothing of value is clearly an investigator. It's me. We're going to dismiss activity, save, and go to the next one. I'm still going to be in frame. It's still going to see me there. It's going to be like, yeah, but old Bert, he's still there. It'll take a second for it to load. But I think all the stuff that we got is going to change and adapt the way the paranormal's done. The devices that I'm working on currently, they're all smart. All of them are smart, scientific. It's scientifically backed. It still looks cool on camera. Don't get me wrong. That room is so spooky. Spooky, it really is. Yes. So those bubbles that you see pop up, they're not 100%. And the reason why I say that is it's basically using a algorithm to determine what something's supposed to be. Now, doesn't mean it's accurate. And I'll show you. So you can see right here, it says small, bright, moving object, orb-like pattern. Clearly it's not. What it is it's a reflection of a light off of one of those Ouija boards, and it's just causing a little bit of inaccuracy. Now, to the software's point, it doesn't know. It's looking at that and it goes, wow, it's probably like orb-like. But most of the time, it at least tells you where to look. Now, again, some of these cameras have compression. The better the camera, less compression. When you're doing like what we do, which is canvassing 20 cameras, you've got to get cameras that have compression for the most part. Now, that being said, we're hoping to reduce that as much as possible on the cameras we're going to put on the market. So none of these cameras that we used is our own cameras. Those are coming, but they're not here yet.
I just understand where it is. Is it?
In the Ouija room facing the seance room.
It's the back of the Ouija room facing towards the seance room.
Wow, that was like the Blair Witch Project. What is Nick calling?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, that's better.
There's an orb.
Professional.
Another orb. And then those will start going away as the camera readjusts itself, or the software readjusts itself. So that's going to be myself and Nick.
I was a ghost.
That's a ghost. So this is clearly us. We can dismiss that activity. Move on to the next one. I'm glad someone agrees, Kyle. Sometimes. Sometimes not everyone agrees. And that's the thing with this software. I know that there's going to be people that love it. There's going to be people that hates it. There's going to be people that they see the potential in it. And there's going to be people that's going to just do what they're doing. But again, it all comes down to what you're using and what you feel comfortable with. For me, there was nothing on the market that could handle what I needed done. And I said, you know what? We're just going to create our own. If it's not on the market, in which they say that's what invention is, right? Whenever you look at whatever it may be, any product that's typically on the market is because somebody needed that product and it wasn't there. In paranormal, nothing more true could possibly be said. I'm so disappointed with the stuff that's currently on the market for paranormal, and it's absurd. It's literally absurd that there's millions and millions of dollars of products sold every year. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. And most of it's not even great. Most of it, don't get me wrong, I love my REM pod, okay? I love devices like this, which is something that, you know, most investigation teams don't even use. Like this is an EMF meter, but it tracks all the different, well, you guys can't see it. Hold on. Let me move to my other camera. What most people use is basically like a typical, you know, for lack of a better term, those cheapos. I mean, this one gets it literally to the penny, and it gives me all the different sources of EMF. This is what we used on our investigation. We also used a radiation meter, which was fascinating. I can't even wait to talk about that in our video that comes out in October. But we used a radiation device and found very conclusive things that just blew my mind. It made me jump too. The room Link and Kim seen a little boy peeking. Oh, in this room? Now, here's the question that I would have. Jess kept seeing something at this door peeking in through that door. Is that where they saw it? Because that is what Jess saw, was someone that kept peeking from this door into this room. Not to say that every single case is like that, but it's also interesting because Nick told me at 4 o'clock in the morning in the basement, which we were all asleep. We stopped our investigations probably about 2 o'clock, and then everyone went to bed and got back up. And then the next day we went till about 2 in the morning and then went to bed. Apparently at 4 o'clock, all hell broke loose in the basement. So I'm super curious to see what that is. But again, little small videos here. The rest is audio. Let's see what's here. I think this is going to be all just coming up on that video part. It's just a quick video thing. So it's an orb. So again, it captured that orb right away. I would mark that as an orb. I do find orbs kind of fascinating. So we'll keep this just for the orb alone. So that's just going to be interference from us talking up there. Ka, I saw you say, is that the ones that you designed, Bert? Or what are you talking about, the cameras? And that's exactly what they saw too, yeah. They saw a little boy peeking, then disappeared. I mean, Jess didn't say a little boy. She didn't know what it was because she said whenever she would glance, when she would look back over, there'd be nothing there. Every single time. I had a large figure come at me under Estes in the, no way, basement at 4. There's something about that basement. We had a lot, and I mean a lot of activity that happened in the basement. Actually, a really cool thing. I don't want to go into too much on that because we did some different things down there that I don't think a lot of investigation teams have truly done. But it's pretty cool. I can't wait to show that part of the footage when it comes out in October. But let's just say one of us may have been touched and not by an angel. The older folks will get that. Let's see here. What's the next one? Looks like a little bit of video, probably another orb. It's probably someone going to walk by. Yeah. That's me. So that's just me. I'm going to put that as contamination, decline. Yep, nothing else there. This one has a little bit of video there also. Be curious to see what that is. And Kyle, I saw your question up there, but I didn't see where you responded. You said, is that one of the ones you designed, Bert? Do you mean the cameras, or? I actually have. Let me see here. I don't know if I've got this down here or not. Let me see. I may have them upstairs, but I am working on some new laser grids too. I've not really said anything about those. Kind of excited about those too, because I'll be honest, I'm not super excited about the laser grids that's on the market either. I feel like there's a lot of improvement needed in the paranormal world. No offense, paranormal world. I just think there needs to be more. More better is the best way I can put it. All right, let's see what's we got in here. Clearly that's me walking back up the stairway, which that'll probably be me passing in front of it. Scared the life out of me.
Does 10 need to be higher?
Yeah. I think it fits.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that was Nick actually coming down the stairs, not me going up. All right, that's Nick. Can't wait to see the equipment. Christmas is going to come early. That's the goal. I'm hoping. I'm going to tell you right now, the equipment
You find the black cable for that file?
the equipment I got coming out is going to be so different than what's on the market. Dang, sound like horses going up and down that stairway. I need to lose some weight, boys. I'm going to consider that contamination. All right. A little bit of video here. Yeah, the equipment that I built is the equipment that I would want to carry. And I've had the Wildwood testing. They did some alpha testing for me above and beyond. Zach was gracious enough to test a box for me. It just broke. Poor thing. It just broke. That was version 1. And I should say Zach didn't break it. It just it stopped charging. That's not necessarily surprising, the way that I had to build those. There was a lot of components that was not currently on the market when I built that, so I had to deal with what I had. But anyway, I'm going to switch out version 1 for version 2 because I kind of want to get version 1. I want to put it up on my bookcase, kind of like a, hey, this is where we started and this is where we're at. I think that's pretty exciting stuff. Kind of sounded like tap shoes for a moment. It did, actually. That sound is really good. Really good. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that hopefully will change paranormal for the good. I think there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to like it, though, because it's going to be really hard to fake my stuff. So the equipment that I'm building, it's not going to be easy to fake. And it'll straight up tell you. If there's someone in the room, it'll tell you. It'll tell you if someone's there. It can see it. It's got sensors, radar systems built in. So it knows if someone's in the room and faking something inside the room. The things that I've got built right now is a device that sits inside the room. And then I've got a device that is a handheld. I've got another device that you would just put down simply for audio. And it kind of does detection of which direction the sound's coming from. And then I've got a fourth device that currently links to everything. And you can basically start and stop investigations, put all the info in. It's kind of dope. It's kind of dope. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of impressed with some of it. It's all stuff I would have bought. If it was on the market, I would have bought it. And this software is going to be so awesome. For investigation teams, imagine you're going through 32 hours. I think that's just Nick. Going through 32 hours and just being able to cut that maybe in half. Probably more than half. Like we're up to 385 clips. There's going to be way more by the time I go out and back in. Nick and I are not on this floor. I want to see what this video is. Okay, so it's just probably artifacting that happened right there. Another little video right here. The other thing that I hate about these cameras is the audio is not great, which sucks. I know it's all about the genuine authenticity, which is brilliant. I hope so. A lot of people's not going to like the fact that they can't fake it like they can other equipment. Like other equipment, you can take a walkie-talkie and set up like a REM pod or something like that. Mine, you cannot. It has built-in deterrence for that. I bet this is going to be naked right here. Nope, artifacting. It looked like there was like compression that happens here, though. So I think that one's just compression. We're going to call that investigator. We're going to dismiss. There's nothing of value in that clip. This one they're saying is audio. It's going to be probably from human. So we'll see what's happening here. And we're just going to start busting through some of these. So that's just Nick upstairs doing his thing. Yep. So that was a dead one. I want to go back out and back in and see how many clips. So right now, oh, never mind. It already updated. So it's up to 480 things total that we would review. So as this thing is updating and it's currently at 19%, so only 19% is currently done of the cameras. So it's still looking for everything to kind of have these review clips that we've got. So I like that part. I like the fact that it's already up to 480. That means it's finding a lot. And that's what we want. So you can kind of see the different frequencies here. And that's the full. So these are going to be steps right here. Yes, that was one thing we wanted, was ease of operation using this. I was telling Link that especially for what he does at like the Dandy's house, aka the Hinsdale house, he would be able to drop in his video footage and it would do all this just exactly the same. There'd be no difference. But instead of watching through hours of footage, he would just be able to mark what he wants. I'm just going to mark that as environmental activity. Dismiss. It'll just put the best of the best in there. Remember how you used to put on YouTube, and when he put on YouTube, we'd sit there and we'd listen. We'd be like, man, that might be a footstep or something. Instead of watching 25 minutes of that footage to find that one thing, this would find it. Now, the other cool thing is it could technically create the video back out with the same kind of like audio interference, like a spectrograph built into it. So it just kind of gives that little bit of extra oomph for people that's maybe trying to, like, I think what Link does is really fascinating, because it's like for the people that can't investigate, they would technically be able to investigate. It wouldn't even be a bad idea, like if somebody decided they want to do something like, you know, once a week do what I'm doing, like have the software and stream them finding these different things, because I think that's almost just as fascinating as having that as an option. Do we listen to this clip? I'm going to call that artifacting. So yeah, that was just an artifacting clip. I love how the graph at the bottom shows possible points of interest. Yeah, that's because here's the thing, right? Like, if you're part of an investigation team, or if you're investigating yourself, or sometimes you don't really know where things are. And that's why I even set up like these little, and you could create your own. You can create your own cuts. So you could technically come in here and change whatever you want. You could make your own decision of what wave factors you listen to. And it'll kind of show it up here too. I also created a thing at the bottom. You can see it right here if you pull it down. If you hear, like, let's say let's say Nick was talking right here, and I knew that was Nick. I can highlight that. And once I highlight it, I can come down here. I can type Nick's voice or Nick speaking upstairs or whatever it is. I can click investigators' voices, why it's known. So I can say, hey, this is why I think this is this. I can save the selected. And then I can have it relook for every single time that it finds that same frequency of whatever it is, to then label that as Nick's voice. Now, that's not going to be 100%, but it's still kind of a cool thing to have, at least from my standpoint. But let's see what this is. Oh, I got to reset my phone. Oh, I put myself in a loop. Hold on. There's also looping capabilities, as you can see there, in which you just unloop yourself. That would relieve so many hours of watching to see if something supernatural is really there. 100%. Because sometimes, man, some cameras, they're just dead. I honestly thought the doctor's office was going to be dead. And it was until we went to the next thing. Stop looping. Stop looping. Did I break it? There we go. But I thought the, did I see something? Is that compression? No, it's just my eyes playing tricks to me. But I thought the doctor's office was going to be dead. We just didn't feel anything up there, but I'm going to tell you, I'm into day 2 now, and I think I'm at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was activity that happened through the night. And it happened after we left. Technically, when we were up there, there was a little bit of activity then, which was fascinating. but we didn't know it was happening. Honestly, I didn't know what was happening until whatever it was, or maybe it's just dumb luck. But my laser grid fully charged when I walked up there, completely dead. We had never used it. That was the first location we was using it that night. Completely dead from like the first 5 seconds I turned it on. I'm going to call that all artifacting. That's just Nick walking upstairs still, setting things up. Nothing of value. Next one. This is going to be groundbreaking. I hope so. I hope so. Honestly, I'm surprised that I'm going to be careful in how I say this. I think that it could have been available, but no one wanted to put the effort or the time in. And, you know, this stuff was not easy. It took time and effort and thought process and all the things that I hate about the post investigation stuff. That's what this clears up. And as you can see, 2034. So we're like 16. Like if I wasn't talking and I was just reviewing clip, this would go by really quick. That's just Nick upstairs. Guys walking downstairs. So he's over here. And next clip. But yeah, if I was just sitting here, this would go by so fast. See, I can't tell what Nick's doing up there. So I would almost say all this is contaminated. The third floor church and I stayed in the room where the motorcycle picture... Oh, yeah, so that first bedroom right across from the staircase. We heard some really chilling chatter. Oh, that's creepy. And that's what you said. It was very creepy. Yeah, when last year we captured a lot of voices up there. This year when we went there, we didn't feel anything. There was like no vibe. So we didn't really spend much time upstairs. But of course now I'm starting to capture some stuff that was up there. I don't know. Do y'all think this would be fun to do like once a week? Like maybe sit down. And honestly, you guys may see stuff on these cameras that we don't even know exists. I don't know. I think it might be something fun to do since I've got to do this anyway. And on top of it, this is why Retraced Echoes has not had videos coming out or very sporadic. It's literally a case where this is what we've concentrated on: software development, hardware development. You guys probably can't see it. Well, maybe you can. Hold on. Let me switch my camera. So over here, you can see all of my development stuff. And literally that whole entire area over there is just a workbench where I'm just prototyping different devices. You guys typically can't see it because in the videos, I kind of put my chair here so you can't see it, but that's all been just 100% prototyping, just creating devices. We've also got some video here. Let's see what we got. It's going to be Nick because I heard him come downstairs. That's my voice. Oh, that was me. I didn't even know I was upstairs. I thought I was downstairs. Maybe I did go upstairs and forgot. So you can see how it kind of marking some stuff there because we walked through. It's just contamination. Love watching this kind of thing. Me too. Like, I can watch people do this stuff all day long. I find it super fascinating. I want to go back to this. I wasn't paying full attention right here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. What was that? Highlight this area real quick. Looping is on. Turn off detection, full screen. I think that's just video compression that it's picking up. I think that's what that is. So it picked up some compression here that changed drastically. It's like, wait, I kind of made it to where it will kind of do it to it, and just anything that it sees it will provide. And I did that on purpose. I'd rather it be too loosey-goosey with what is or is not paranormal. All right, so that's the lighting. That's where the lighting changed. Then the video is going to recompress because of that, which is fine. Yeah, I like the fact that it gives me an idea of where my eyes are supposed to go. Because sometimes it's so hard, like right here, when you're looking at a full screen, I mean, my eyes may be, you can't see where I'm looking, but it may be on the far right of the monitor. Well, if something's happening on the far left, at least if it tells me, hey, this is where it's supposed to be, that's what I like. But this is all caused by compression. It's just where the video compressed. This is a longer clip. So this is just, I think this is just the same visual compression that's occurring. There's nothing paranormal there. Now you can see the compressions. It's basically, once these videos have something, it will stay that frame until something causes it to rewrite. This is the last piece that hasn't rewrote yet on that camera. Dismiss. I don't see anything of value there. Next one's going to be another video, so there's something within the video. Here soon we're going to start our investigations because we were still setting up at this point. As soon as we got set up, we start our investigation upstairs. So this camera should be pretty aggressive. There should be some stuff on there for sure. My attention is at the left where the lamp is in the doorway there. Yeah, I think a lot of that was compression. That's the thing. If I think it's something like compression or something, I generally would just go, I can't prove or disprove. Now, like if a shadow thing walked through like last year, I'd be like, that's a shadow person. Give me my credit. That's shadow persons. So that's a truck going by. If you heard that, that's a truck. I heard that a lot. The camera I'm watching is the 3rd floor, and all you hear is cameras going by, or trucks going by on cameras. Some people would say, why don't you use full frame? I actually prefer it kind of small, because if there's something that catches my eye, it's easier to catch it in these smaller frames and then enlarge if I need to. Let's see what it's picking up here for video. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go full screen. Try to see what it's looking at here. So the lamp is probably some form of compression there would be my guess. Well, look at there. There's Miss Heather. What's going on, Heather? Heather's currently one of our... Oh, did y'all see that? Hold on. Hold on now. Sorry. Let me pause that for a second. Heather's one of our people that's looking through some footage this year for us. She also did last year. For anyone that doesn't know, she's got an amazing podcast also. Tell Me a Scary Story podcast. Definitely check her out. Spotify. But I saw an orb come over here. Now, I will tell you the software that I'm using here, a lot of times if it thinks that it's unrealistic in what it should be, like an orb or something like that, it typically will cut it out. So if you don't see video footage and it shows that, that's basically something that is said is not quality enough. I'm still going to look at it, though, because we don't know when the software is going to be good, bad, or indifferent. Howdy do, sure am. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome, Miss Heather. And also, Heather is using this software. I actually need to get you an updated version, Heather. This is version 1.0.23. Today I added 2 things to it, which the biggest one is right here, the reviewer volume. Nick and I was talking, and Nick's like, we really probably need that to be like up in the 24 decibel range where it's all the way up. So I added that, and then I added one more thing. So you need the more updated version. I think yours also had this stuff at the bottom. I can't remember what version you're on. I think you're on like 12 or 13, something like that. So I'll get you the new update I've got on my Google Drive. I just got to send it to you. I knew you were gone this weekend, so I didn't even worry about it. Oh, another thing, for anyone that potentially will be using this software later, there's also a rotate thing. So if you have a camera that you put upside down by mistake, you don't have to flip it. You can do it in the software, and the software will do it by itself. This won't be the final version. There'll be another version that will come out for the public. We're just alpha testing this right now. But let me see what this orb is. Some kind of an orb that was happening right there. Okay, did you see that? So the orb came in and it disappeared right about here. I think that's why the software was like, no. But I do find that intriguing. Like, why would an orb just disappear? That's odd to me. Let me highlight that. Another thing, Heather, for the add-on is if you highlight an area like that, you can now loop it, and there's a speed control, and then a previous and next frame also. Sounds good. I'm back from traveling, so send it whenever. I'll send it when I get off the stream. But now there's also a loop thing, Heather, because I'll be honest, when I was watching this footage, some of it, I was like, I need to loop that. I need to see what's happening here. Let me look at this section here. So it looks like it just gets to there and then it stops right there. That's odd. I think that might be some form of a compression thing. I can't tell. That might be. I'm not sure. Could be compression. It didn't follow through on the compression. I'm just going to put orb on that because that is something that I might want to look at a little deeper. I'm also training some of the software to look at some of these things that I find interesting, just so I can train the software on that. So, yeah, it's almost like it comes in and dissipates. Now, here's the thing, and this is just the skeptical side of my brain working. What could be? Hello? Oh, this new version also, which is why that just happened. Heather, just so you know, FYI. If you hit spacebar, it plays and stops. So that's what. You don't have to keep pressing up here anymore. You can just hit spacebar. But I think what's happening from a skeptical standpoint, the orb comes in, it gets right here, and the camera just didn't change the compression that was right in here. And I think that's why it just disappeared. That's just, if I was a skeptic, that's what I would say. Well, it didn't go past that because it didn't rewrite the video information that was right here. Which is true. It's not false. Yeah, we're getting fancy over here. We're trying to change some stuff up. I want to show people some of the software we're using, talk about some of the hardware. We're up to 747 things too. And we're only 22% through this camera. So at 22%, that's where we are. Just to give you an idea. That's a lot. Let's see what we got here. Also video here. Did y'all hear that? I keep hearing that noise upstairs, and I can't figure out what it is. It's like a high-pitched boink. Oh, another thing, Heather. There is advanced audio labs down here, so you can change things for like voice, moans, footsteps. And what it does is it cuts out other frequency ranges, so you can kind of control what you hear. And you can kind of guide yourself a little bit by seeing the actual waves over here to know what to cut out and what not. So like a prime example, I want to hear that higher pitch thing, so I'm going to do right here, and we're going to move this a little bit over here. And I want to listen to that again. There's almost like a click that's occurring, and I can't quite figure out what it is, but it's like a weird click. Did I miss it? Is it right here? Right there. Do you hear that? I don't know what that is. But I keep hearing it on my other recording too. I don't know what that is. I keep hearing it on the other recording though, which is weird. Dang, this is fantastic. I definitely need the update. I'll send it to you. State-of-the-art stuff. We're trying. Everything we're building right now is around changing the entire landscape. That's the goal. I don't think that was the stairs, but it has to be because there's a video that happens right here. Okay, so compression probably changed right here. That's why that's that. I don't know what that click is. So I'm really trying to investigate what that click is because I heard it on the other camera too, but it was muffled, which means it was probably on a different floor. It almost sounds like, remember those binder clips on like those folders where you used to put your papers in there, then you would flip the little things down. It's like someone takes the end of it and just goes bing. And it's such an odd noise. I hear it on the upstairs camera too. So I'm not quite sure what that is. It's very odd. Not sure what that is. It's just such an odd noise. That's the thing, is usually when I find things, it's like, why is that such an odd noise? Though, I captured a really cool noise and I'm like 95% sure in the doctor's office what it is. I think I figured it out. I've talked to Nick about it a little bit today and I'm like, I think this is what this is. And he listened to it. He's like, I can't unhear it now. I think that's absolutely what that is. That's us talking on the walkie-talkies. Curious to see what this is. It's gonna be up here. So that's a semi-truck. I already know that noise. You'll hear that about 1,000 times. So nothing of value there. This one has another video abnormality. I'd be curious about that. Yeah, I captured... I don't know if I should say it. Just because, like, I kind of want people to see it themselves and hear it and tell me what they think they hear. So many vehicles, noises for sure. Yeah. This place has a main route that things kept going by. So, but I really want to get other people's impressions of that sound. I think there's something to it. I don't know. I'll be super curious to see what other people think of that noise. Let's see what we got here. This is legit what I do every single evening now. For anyone that's like, I wonder what Bert's doing tonight. Why is he not putting videos out? This is why. This is why. Okay, that's a footstep. It's probably one of us. Sounds like me walking up a stairway. Kyle's fascinated. I like that. So that's just that compression in the bottom. Around that same time frame, I don't know if you saw it, but the door also compressed. That's just, I think, video compressing in that time frame. There's no way to not have that. Nothing of value here. Next. That's the best part, is not having to sit through the entire video, just being able to skip to the main things. That's the hardest part. When you're watching stuff post investigation, it's a terror. It's compression. I hear me. But does that not sound like something moving near that camera? can't tell what that is. If I can't tell what it is, I always just go, no. I won't, I won't use anything that I can't definitively say, yeah. I probably kick more stuff than most people does, but I just, of sound mind, I can't just be like, yeah, this is a ghost. You know, say. I'm going to put that as just contamination with us on that. I think that's what that is. A lot of that stuff, it's hard to make out, yeah, for sure. Mark that as contamination. Next. So it's saying this one's got video and it's pretty sure there's human. It's odd noise. It definitely is an odd noise. I don't know. I can't quite place what that is. If I can't place it, I can't use it. That's how I look at it. This is about the time we start our investigations. Sounds like me walking. Nick's kind of fast. He walks kind of quick upstairs. I'm more of a boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's Nick walking by. That was a shadow too. So that's one thing that I always say you got to be a little cognitive of. If you ever see what happens here without someone walking by, like that, that's kind of like what we caught last year. There goes another truck by. That one's just contamination. That's us. That's us walking by. And being so is this another human, it's probably me walking by now. Following Nick around like, well, where are we going, Nick? Oh, we went to the doll room. That's right. That's just compression. That's just us. So far, nothing too juicy. We had that one little orb that was kind of weird. I'd be curious what we find in the basement. Ooh, the doll room. I know. That room is super creepy. Of the little dolls sitting there staring at you the whole time. Nope. Video right there. So something changed within the video spectrum. Okay. I thought I saw something there, but I didn't set, play. You were pinched in the neck there? We didn't have nothing in the doll room. I thought the doll room just looked creepy, but I didn't get any vibes or anything in there. I feel like the ghosts, they hold off, man. They don't give me none of the good stuff in any of the good rooms. Like, now I will say this year, I will tell this story because this story is kind of fascinating. Let me go to my full screen for this. So when we were doing the investigation, we were in Tommy's room. I think this was night 1. So far, this might be the second coolest thing that happened the entire time we were there. In the room, clear as day, Nick and I were talking back and forth trying to get Tommy, and all you hear is a bang! Sounded just like a gunshot, went off inside the room. It's pitch black, so I can't see what's happening. Nick doesn't see what's happening. Nick drops the old F-bomb, rightfully so. And so I had to kind of go through there, and I'm going to have to edit that part out. But it sounded just like a small caliber handgun. That's what it sounded like. Don't know what it was. Couldn't tell you exactly that that's what it was, but that's definitely what it sounded like. So I'm kind of curious what happened before and what's after, but it was so loud. It literally caught us off guard. 100%. Yeah, not a fan of the creepy dolls. It was very wild. Dolls creep me out, laugh out loud. Kyle, don't do dolls. You want to hear something funny, Kyle? Nick slept in that room both nights. Tell me he's not a little crazy. That gunshot, though, super creepy. Sounds Nick walking back through. So that's probably what this entire clip's going to be. He lives his life on the edge. He said that, and what was funny is while we were there, he literally asked, this was last year, he asked what everyone on Instagram thought was the creepiest room, and that's what he was sleeping, and that's what everyone chose. It was bad. Felt this sharp pain pinch several times. It shocked me. It shocked me too. I don't want things staring at me as I try to sleep. Well, that is definitely not the room to go into. I told Nick, I was like, there ain't no way in hell I'd go in that room. Not to sleep in there. Like, it doesn't scare me, but I couldn't sleep in there. I feel like too many things are watching me. I'd be like, nope, I'm good. Bird out, boys. That's what I would say. All right, I'm going to say that one's just us, obviously, contamination. Small audio clip. See, that's so quick. I don't know what that is. I'm just going to mark that as contamination. Some type of a click, and there's some type of click in that room, but what kind of clip, the world may never know. I'm going to call That's Us, I believe, on mics. That's what it sounds like to me. Link and Kim were teasing me to sleep in the doll room. I was like, heck no. For sure. I think Link ended up sleeping in there. Gives me the goosebumps every time. I feel you on that. I can't do it. I'm one of those weird people. I don't like stuff like that. Just like this room. Negative. No bueno. You don't see me in this room very often. Set something up, check something out. Not my bang zone. I don't know. Ouija boards and stuff like that scare me. I don't like touching them. I don't like being around them. I don't know. I think they're portals into things. I don't call me weird, but anyone investigates with me, that's like and Nick is like one of those guys. He would totally use that kind of stuff. But the agreement that I have with anyone that I work with is no stuff like that. No Ouija boards, no, crystals and all that stuff. That's too much for me. No bueno. This is what I'm mostly interested in. It's down there. That's a truck. I can already hear it. Yep, so that's contamination. That's truck contamination. All right. Okay, peeps. Got to get some stuff, things put away, some laundry. Have fun, everyone. I hope you find something cool. Me too. I'm not going to be doing this much longer. Maybe a half an hour more, then I'm going to be done for the evening. But thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that, Heather. I'll get this new software over to you so you can find some goodies from my videos. That's someone talking. Yeah, Kyle, I don't know. The religious part of me, that's just things we don't play with. I know there's plenty of paranormal groups that do. I'm just not one of those like, of all the things that I'll try, that's not one of them. I don't know. I know it's probably a turn off to most investigation. Why wouldn't he do that? It's just not for me. No bueno. That's us talking. After seeing the extras, hell no to the Ouija boards. Nah. Yeah, I don't do the whole Ouija board thing. That's just every good story, paranormal story, it typically has a Ouija board attached. So, hey, call me crazy, but I'm not going to have one. That's us talking. Compression. I would say nothing of value there. Likely artifacting, decline. Let's see what we got here. See, there was that click again. I don't know what that click is, but I'm going to have to put that as contamination. It's impossible for me to know what that is. We're up to 857 different things. So it's slowly climbing. It'll be well over 1,000. Absolutely, Bert. Same here. I'm Catholic myself, and I will not touch one. They scare me. Yeah. Why did that get so loud all of a sudden? Because it's a truck. It's another truck going through. See how abruptly that sound started? That's another truck, though. Yeah, Ouija boards, crystals, anything that has to do with occult practice, I don't do it. Won't, can't, no interest. That's just semi there. That's all that is. Next one they're saying is some type of human activity. Or no, I'm sorry. That's the one after that. My bad. I jumped ahead. This one's just audio. It's a quick audio. I think that's just contamination. The thing is, no idea why doors may be open after messing with one. That's the thing. You really don't. And too many people, they will go to places like this not understanding what attachments may be there that someone else may have left. Someone else may have left some type of attachment there that it'll gladly jump on and attach straight to you, and I'm good on that. It's us. So it sounds like we're starting that investigation in Tommy's room, so that's probably what a lot of these are going to be. So that, I'm putting that as contamination. They're saying this one has a video included. It's just compression. So that's all contamination just from us. I think we're starting that investigation over in Tommy's room. But we're up to what in time? 20:54. So we've made it about 35, 40 minutes. Now, a lot of people would be like, well, you know, that's so slow. But here's the thing. If I wasn't talking to you guys and I was just literally sitting here just going clip to clip to clip, I'd be so much faster at this. Contamination. Decline, save. Some of those are fast. I can just look at the waveform and go, that's contamination. That's probably some sort of contamination. Right. Don't want to bring something dark home where it could affect the family, etc. That's the thing. We play with a lot of this stuff. Even if you don't necessarily directly attempt to bring something home, like even by not touching it, you technically could be putting yourself in that position, but I think it definitely limits it. I definitely think it limits it. I don't know. Something to it. That's why I try to keep a couple people on call if I need them. Wonder what that is. Something with video attached. Holy smokes. Sounds like we're walking towards that room. So that's Nick. Nick walking back upstairs. We must have still been setting up cameras at this point. I thought we already had cameras done, but maybe we're still setting them up at this point. Very odd. Next one is supposedly audio, video, human. Just in case, not right. So he must be in those rooms right over top of us. So he's still setting up those cameras. This is probably him walking back through there. Sounds like him coming down, so he's probably going to walk back by. That's what that is. This is the unfortunate part of posts. The thing that most people don't understand is a lot of this stuff is just you going, yeah, I know what that is. And just keep moving. Next one's audio. They believe it's created by a human. When it really gets good is when it's like after we go to bed, so like at 2 o'clock in the morning, because then you know whenever you hear something or you see something, no one's up. That's us in bed. I think we went to bed the one night a little after 2. The beauty is Nick slept over here up in that doll's room, so we'll see when he actually goes to bed. Once he goes to bed, there should be no sound. No sound, no video, no nothing. That's just us talking. That's contamination from us. The other good thing about this software, which is something that we've not really talked a whole lot about, when you watch these videos for long periods of time. So to give you an idea, when we watch these, they're just video clips. Like they're just, like I'm looking at one now, 3 minutes 22, minute 22, 36 minutes. When you get to those ones, it's like 36 minutes, an hour. Here's another one, 35, 31. Another one, 24, 28. When you're sitting there and you're just watching a continuous feed, your eyes get fatigued. You get tired. You get tired of, and you miss things. We ran this software over videos that we had already watched last year, and it picked up things that we missed. And I think we simply missed it because we were just tired. You get fatigued, you're listening. At least this puts just the hot stuff in front of your eyes and your ears so you can listen and go, yes, I can hear that. Oh, this is where I'm supposed to be looking, so it just kind of makes it easier. That's, for me, I think that's the unsung hero of this entire thing. 3 a.m. always creeps me out. Heck yeah, witch hour. That's when the demons come out. I'll be curious what these are. There's a couple of strong hits here. That's just us talking in the background, though. I can hear that part. Yeah, see, I can hear us talking on the lower end of that. We're probably downstairs. So, for anyone that doesn't know, the Wildwood, this is on the second floor. That would be us downstairs and straight ahead from where this camera's at. It's pretty far away. So, to even be able to hear us, that just shows you how far voices travel. All of the devices, I'll wait until this part's clear. See, whatever that is. My guess is that's some form of contamination. I think it's our voice. All the devices that I'm creating right now, which is I'm a little bit excited about, is they all have multiple mics, like minimum of 2 mics. I'm going to put investigators. So my thought is if there's 2 mics, we'd be able to triangulate kind of where something's coming on from, and they all communicate with each other in real time. So like a prime example, let's say we would have had one of those devices in this room, and let's say there was the one downstairs. If we're talking downstairs, it's going to communicate with the boxes upstairs. Hey, they're talking right in this instance. So if you hear something, more than likely that's what this is, and it's able to match up the audio. So that's one huge advantage that most paranormal teams do not have, that I think will be a huge game changer. A huge game changer. Because contamination's real. A lot of investigation teams do not talk about it. And a lot of times they pass EVPs off as, yeah, this said, Becky strangled Julie in the closet upstairs in the 3rd room. That's what it said. And I'm sitting there going, that's not what I hear. How many times if they don't tell you what is being said, you just sit there and you don't look at the screen, you don't look at the transcript, and you go, this is what I heard. What we found with some of this stuff is some of the things that's being said is not what's being said on the actual camera. So the devices that I'm creating will have multiple sets and they all communicate in real time. And it's simply to prevent things just like that. I love watching and listening to this. One of my favorite things to do. I think this is what I'm going to do. Maybe once a week, probably on the weekends. Maybe for like an hour, 2 hours. Because here's the beauty of it. It's kind of like a slot machine, right? Like you sit down, you pull the handle. You don't know what you're going to get. We could see a shadow person. We could hear a voice. We could have an EVP. We just don't know. Here's the thing. We're clearly downstairs, and I know we're downstairs, but if you listen right here, this sounds like it's in this room. It's too clean. Whenever there's something that, like if there's being something hit or smacked, it'll be more muffled. Listen to how crisp this sounds. Here's what I would be curious about. Is the other cameras and figuring out what it is. I'm going to put not sure. And for the first time in a long time, I'm going to put unknown person. I'm going to put keep, and then I'll review this with the other cameras later. So that'll be in the keep category. Right now, we have 5 keeps and 41 declines. So think about if this was an investigation, though. You would sit here and literally watch things over and over and over again. That's us talking. See how much easier it is to hear my voice when you cut out all the low end? I think that's all just contamination. Nothing of value. Investigator dismiss activity. Save. I'll bring the snacks and the beer. Heck yeah, woohoo. That's what I'm talking about, Kyle. I think I might do this maybe once on the weekends, maybe a Saturday or Sunday. I'd like to get more people in here. I'd like to get other people's impressions of things too. When I do this, it's kind of nice to get some other people and be like, hey, what do you think that sound is? What do you think that video is? I even like having skeptics come in and kind of talk. Of course, as long as they're a somewhat open-minded skeptic. Don't be like, that ain't it. Like, they could legit see a ghost and be like, that ain't a ghost. That's a transparent sheet. I think that's just contamination. See, that was some type of sound in that room. I don't know what that is, but I'm still gonna say contamination. I'm not gonna keep that. All right, we'll probably listen to one more clip and then we'll call it for the night. I got to go finish up some stuff, and then I'm going to go watch some more of my camera upstairs. That's compression. Something big right there. It's a truck going through a semi. Yeah, so that sound you hear right there, that's a semi-truck. But it sounds so loud. I'm going to say that's nothing of value. I'm going to dismiss that activity too. I don't know. Curious though. What do y'all think? Y'all think this is maybe something we should maybe do once a week, just kind of see what's going on? Kyle says, I can share this out on Facebook for you. I mean, hey, we just got to find the best time on the weekends. I work on Saturdays until like 5 or 6. Sorry, we just changed it, 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock is typically when my day ends on Saturdays. Maybe we could do it on a Saturday, maybe from like 7 to 9, maybe do 2 hours like we did today, and just kind of sit there and see what we capture. And we'll start back. I won't look at this camera anymore. We'll start back here. That way it's kind of fair for everyone. They can see this camera from start to completion, or obviously I got to get that camera done eventually. So eventually I might have to jump in and do a little bit more, but I think it'd be fun. Since I'm not able to put videos out on this channel right now, I'd love to have some more time to put some more videos out. With everything going on right now, trying to get this up and running, get all these videos watched, because Deceptive Reality, my other podcast, that one we put a video out every single week. So with that one, that is guaranteed. And I don't know. I think that'd be something good to do on this channel. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I want to thank everyone who stopped by for stopping by. Kyle, appreciate you stopping by and having a conversation. Heather, wherever you are, if you come back and you watch this later, thanks for stopping by. Also, thanks for everyone that is watching some cameras and doing a little bit of beta testing on this for us. I guess it's more like alpha testing, really. But thanks for everyone. Hope y'all have an amazing rest of your weekend. Maybe we'll do this next Saturday at, let's say 7 to 9. Let's try that unless something comes up. I'll put something on Retraced saying 7 to 9. But until I see y'all on the next one, goodbye.